Good Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock this time, not 9 p.m., our accustomed time. We had to do a little, we had to do a little, razzling dazzling. We had to change things up. But that's Bro Talk. I'm your boy, Berto, also known as the reporting eligible duo on YouTube. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Yes, like I mentioned, man, usually a 9 o'clock show, but we had to come on a little bit earlier today. But man, what a busy week it's been. But before we get into all of that, Bro Talk, what's going on? How you feeling, man?
Still trying to adjust from this time change, man. Feel like I got home from work. It was already dark. I couldn't even enjoy the outside, the nice weather that we have here in Texas just yet. But hey, man, another week, another
Yeah.
loss. Recovering from that, and
It's like a bad
everything
hangover.
and everything that comes from the Atlanta Falcons. But I mean, I still got a little bit of optimism, so we'll see.
We would definitely share that optimism as the schedule goes on. So do the games, and so does the trade deadline frenzy. It was an active Tuesday for most of the league, man. We're gonna review some of the trades. We'll go through them. We'll give our quick thought on it. Falcons were in the mix of things, obviously not acquiring any players, but we did cut a certain individual up from the squad and did pick up, we did pick up another guy to replace him. But let's jump right into it, man. Man, the Indianapolis Colts, right? Right off the rip, man. Trading for Sauce Gardner, man. Sending two number ones, man. A 2026 first round, a 2027 first round, and AD Mitchell for the services of Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner, as we all know, perennial Pro Bowler from the Jets, goes to the Colts. A much needed acquisition for the Indianapolis Colts. That Colts secondary is very leaky. They rank towards the bottom of the league. I believe they rank 26 in pass defense. Certainly, Sauce Gardner is going to help in that regard. But your thoughts, right quick, on the Sauce Gardner switching to the Colts?
I mean, I think it's a good fit for what Lou Anarumo is doing over there in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
A lot of heavy cover one man coverage, and I think someone put out a stat. I can't remember who, but they give up a lot of deep passes, and it has to do with getting beat in man coverage, and Sauce is an immediate improvement for them. A lot of people think two first rounders is a little steep, but hey, we've seen the blueprint for the Los Angeles Rams. Giving up first rounders for Jalen Ramsey and picks for Von Miller that year they won the Super Bowl. The Colts feel like they're in that window. They've got momentum.
They
Even
do.
with Daniel Jones, who has been playing well, kind of came back down to earth against a bad Steelers defense. So we'll see. Hindsight's always 2020. You don't know how it's going to work out, but on paper, it improves that defense that's already, they're a pretty good defense. And like you said, the weaker part of their defense just got that much better.
Absolutely. Before we go any further, I just want to let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by our good friend Brendan James. That's in the chat, man. I'm going to share my screen with y'all real quick. Falcon fans, NFL fans, man, if you like anime and sports, this is the website to go to. Locofits.shop, man. Go on in there, man. Just search it out, man. You can find shirts to your liking. All NFL teams. The Falcons are definitely in here. I'm repping one right now. Tyler Algier got to beat my guy Brendan in New England this past weekend for the Patriots game. So shout out to Brendan. Shout out to your shop as well. That's locofits.com. We certainly appreciate what you do, Brendan. Thank you, buddy. But going on to the next trade, the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is saying, Micah, who? Trading for Quinnen Williams of the New York Jets. The New York Jets absolutely was just cleaning house on Tuesday, man. But Quinnen Williams goes from the Jets to the Cowboys. The Cowboys signed a second rounder in 26 and a 27 first rounder and defensive tackle Mozzie Smith, man. Quinnen Williams, man. Pro Bowler, man, a much needed body for that Dallas front, man, that's been struggling to get after it, to run defense and also in the pass rush department. Quinnen Williams offers you both, man. Obviously, Micah Parsons no longer there. That is we can't say that's your equivalent to a Micah Parsons, but it is a He's just a stout defender on that defensive line and should make everybody around them a little bit better, especially Donovan Izaraku out of Boston College, their first round pick. We will see what the benefit is there in that regard. But your take quickly on the Quinnen Williams to the Cowboys, man.
Yeah, not only that, they traded for Logan Wilson. Jerry getting two
Linebacker.
pieces that I think will improve the defense. So if you
Right
look
on.
at it, right, against hindsight 2020, right? If someone told you, hey, the Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons for a first round pick, Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and Logan Wilson, who would you say won the trade?
Oh my God, Dallas, I would say.
Yeah, so we were poking fun on Jerry, which no one trades an elite edge rusher like that, but it looks like Jerry has brought over pieces that will improve that weaker part of the defense. The run defense has been horrendous for the Dallas Cowboys. Horrendous. Their secondary, I was surprised. I thought they were going to trade for Minka Fitzpatrick too. That would have been like oh
over
my
the top.
gosh. Oh my gosh. But in the end, I think the Cowboys did win with the pieces that they brought back. I mean, Logan Wilson he isn't a Pro Bowl level anymore, but he's an improvement over Kenneth Murray, who's been one of the worst linebackers in the league. And,
injury prone too.
Injury prone. And Quinnen Williams next to Kenny Clark. You sub in, what's his name? Osa Odighizuwa.
Yep.
In passing situations, a smaller defensive tackle that's a great pass rusher. Donovan Izaraku's progressing really nicely, getting some pressures, getting some sacks. So you just never know. It's the back end still worries me for the Dallas Cowboys, but I think Jerry did a good job.
He did.
Jerry did a good job. And then on top of that, trading Micah Parsons allowed him to extend players like what's his name, Tyler Smith, and then Deron Bland, which Deron Bland had a game to forget last Monday night.
Brother.
But
is his ankles all right?
Yeah, prior to that, Deron Bland was pretty good corner, right? And he's just having a rough year. I mean, that's happens.
It does. And for Logan, they traded a 7th round pick, man. So
that's like nothing.
That's nothing, man. And teams were pretty generous, man. We're going to get to one of the more generous trades here. I mean, by no means are we Aints fans, but I feel like the Aints fleeced Seattle in this one. Big time. And fleece meaning Rashid Shaheed goes to the Seattle Seahawks. Fantastic spot for him in that spread style offense under Clint Kubiak, who knows a thing or two about Rashid. Maybe they'll utilize him a little bit better. But the Seahawks sent a 4th and a 5th round pick. Now that's a 4th and a 5th round pick for an undrafted player. So I think the winner in this is the Aints in this regard. But the player, Rashid Shaheed, can take the top off of defense, has great speed, wasn't being utilized properly by Kellen Moore in the Aints this year, led to his departure. So your take right quick, man. What do you think about Rashid Shaheed going to the Seahawks?
I think it's a great pairing. JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba is playing like a top 3 receiver right now. And he's not the fastest of guys. He's that elite route runner that can run just about every route on the route tree. And Shaheed just takes off the top. And I think Clint Kubiak, even though he has Torrey Horton, the rookie, I think he missed Shaheed and his ability to potentially have 2 speedsters on the field. Cooper Kupp's not a speedster as well. He has a younger Cooper Kupp, you would say, is just a watered down version of a JSN. So you want speed in that West Coast Kubiak scheme. So
thank you, Lawrence.
I think it was good for both teams in this scenario. Shaheed gets a fresh start with a coordinator that actually knows how to utilize him and a quarterback in Sam Darnold that is playing at an MVP level.
He sure is. And not a lot of people are talking about that because, of course, it's Sam Darnold and it's the Seahawks, right? When do we get MVP style play other than Russell Wilson in those years? Now, Darnold being there with Clint, he's opening things up. He's looking fantastic. And to just go right through some of the trades, Jacksonville trades for Jacoby Myers, man.
A lot of Falcon fans were upset about that. No. But what the Jags got for him, we weren't giving that up, guys.
No, man. No. And why we talk about the Falcons in draft compensation? Let's go through what we have for next year. Projected, right? So a 2nd rounder. We have a 2nd rounder, a 3rd rounder, a 4th, a 6th, and the 7th. We do not have a 5th rounder because I think that 5th rounder was involved in acquiring Xavier Watts
Yeah.
this past year. So the Falcons have limited draft capital. I didn't see them being active in this market, which leads to my next team and the biggest question mark, because we did see some links to this player, Arnold Ebiketie, potentially going to the Chicago Bears, but the Chicago Bears went down to Cleveland to trade for Tyron Shoyinka, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer player, high draft pick for them a couple years back. Really not much there to be talked about. But Arnold Ebiketie, what I thought was going to go there, in all honesty. And he was putting out some tweets and whatnot, kind of got the fan base rumbling like, oh, man, is this guy on his way out? He's still in an Atlanta Falcon. But we'll round out, man. Philadelphia Eagles. What can you say? Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
What can you say? Third
I
for
mean,
Jalen Phillips, man.
the most I mean, it was kind of the most like obvious one, right? The Vic Fangio, Jalen Phillips ties were there, and that's when Jalen really had a career year when Vic was his defensive coordinator. And
Yeah.
some people, you know, there's people on two sides of the coin. Some people are like, holy overpay by Howie Roseman, 3rd rounder for an injury-prone edge defender on a contract year. But then some people are like, this is a home run. It's cheap. You know, if he does walk and balls out, right, Howie gets a comp pick back, right? So he he recoups some of that he traded away. And that's the genius that I think of Howie Roseman, is because he always stays aggressive when it comes to the trenches. Bones always comments on it. He's never satisfied with what they have in the trenches, whether it's depth, starters, and it was an obvious need, right? Brandon Graham freaking unretired because they needed desperate help. You know, Nolan Smith's on IR. Jalex Hunt's really the only guy they have. I mean, what's his name? Josh Uche's there, but he's kind of fallen off. It's not really that edge room that they had last year where it was like,
it had a nice rotation.
Yeah, they had a nice rotation. So I think this is a steal. I don't like the number switch by him to number 50. I think that's an ugly number for an edge rusher. I'd like 15 on him. I don't know who 15 is on the Eagles, but they needed to come off of that number because Jalen Phillips and 15 look nice. So, but yeah, I mean, what can you say, right? The Dolphins, you know, they get something in return to a guy that probably was going to walk, that they couldn't extend. And, you know, the Eagles, they're trying to repeat. So not surprising in the lead, you know, the least amount.
Not surprising. But and speaking of surprises, are you surprised the Falcons weren't sellers to a certain degree? We have some expiring contracts on hand. You know, Tyler Algier, unfortunately, you know, I felt like he could have potentially been out the door. Same for Arnold Ebiketie. You know, he's up for a contract extension this year, former 2nd round pick out of Penn State. Hasn't really matured into the edge rusher we thought he could coming out of Penn State. But those two names are still with the Falcons. Your thought right quick. Are you surprised that the Falcons decided to keep them?
The only thing I'm kind of surprised on is Arnold Ebiketie not being traded. It seemed like a trade was already agreed upon. And if it was, could the Leonard Floyd injury on Sunday changed our mind? Because it's like, oh no, you know, is Leonard going to miss some time? We need Ebiketie for depth. But it seemed like Ebiketie wanted out. And if I was Terry, I would have, you know, say, you know what, it just didn't work out. Let's give you a fresh start, try and ball out. That way you can go earn some money. But at the same time, you know, it's not surprising. You know, you don't want to just take any offer, because if they were getting offers for Tyler, for Kyle, for Ebiketie, you know, if you were getting lowballed, right? It's just like fantasy. Someone tries to lowball you and you scoff at them. Like, are you serious right now? Like, are you trying to insult me right now? Because I don't know the value of the players. So a lot of fan bases, you know, they were upset because Terry was on his hands, not selling, kind of like last year when he wasn't buying for an edge rusher, right? They were okay. Fans were okay giving up a 2nd round pick for Azeez Ojulari, someone that can't even see the field for Philadelphia. So it's not surprising. You know, if they do walk guys and they sign a good sized contract, we do get compensation in a draft pick in there. So for Tyler, it would be a 5th rounder. If Kyle walks and gets a contract, it's a 3rd rounder. You know, and Ebiketie, same thing. If he walks and gets a contract, it's a 3rd or 4th rounder right there. So, you know, there are picks that can happen. That's the risk that GMs take when they don't trade away. But again, you can't get lowballed, because if he traded away Arnold for a 7th round pick, it's like, what are we doing, Terry? A 7th? That's all you could get? right? Our
Mhm.
7th round pick can't even be a backup player right now. That's the type of guy.
Right.
Those are developmental players. If you're okay drafting developmental players, okay, but the fan base isn't, right? You guys
No,
want
I don't know.
impact now.
Impact. Yeah,
You want
absolutely.
impact now. So what does a 7th
Yep.
rounder, do for you next year? Nothing,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Everyone thinks the season's over. 3-5, it doesn't look great, but hey, we were 6-3 last year. We thought we were winning the division and going to the
We
playoffs.
did. It could be,
Nothing, anything can happen, right?
fortunes can turn, man.
Yeah.
And speaking of fortunes can turn, man, for this game upcoming now against the Colts, man, we have some reinforcements coming back home. Billy Bowman, full participant this week. We sorely missed him. We haven't seen him since the Commanders game. We haven't seen Zach Harrison since the 49ers game. Billy with the hamstring, Zach with the knee. Both of those guys are trending up in the right direction. Zach coming back, the Falcons were in the news for some things, obviously. We'll touch on that one in a second, but Taquan Graham gets released. And a lot of us were shocked because Taquan was serviceable at best, but I think you could look at Sam Roberts' play, right? Sam Roberts, he's been killing it in the middle of this Falcons defense. He's been aggressive. He's been in the backfield. He's been a good run stuffer. And to pair Sam Roberts, LaCale London has also played really inspiring football too. Alongside him in some rundowns, them two have been, they've been holding their own, and LaCale kind of broke out on Sunday with 2 sacks, which was big. So I think the decision was made easy. Listen, we're getting good production out of these 2 guys. Yeah, it might be time to, just part ways with TQ, who's been battling injuries throughout his Falcon career. With that one, now we can jump right into Parker Romo. Parker flipping Romo. And the tweet heard round the world. Oh boy. Folks, I just want to clear this up right quick. I was at the game on Sunday and I was I'm there. I'm watching fucking Parker warm up. I was with my son and he's warming up, kicking the ball. He made that tweet that I put out. That was the only kick attempt that he made. The next 5 were all misses, and he was pulling them to the right. We were saying, wow, those fans are lucky. They're getting souvenirs, free footballs. No, brother. The net was up. He was just pulling them bad boys. But that's no longer. That's no longer. Zane Gonzalez comes in. Zane Gonzalez is a journeyman in the NFL, having played for the Washington Commanders, having played for the Carolina Panthers. Isn't I wouldn't say he's that much better than what Parker Roma was for his career or Young Wei Koo. I think he only has like a 82 or 81% efficiency in making field goals. The other 2 guys mentioned are ranked, above him. But what do you feel? Do you think Zane is going to be the Band-Aid for the rest of the year, or do we find ourselves possibly getting rid of him down the line as well, man?
Well, you know what? Last year he made some pretty clutch kicks for the Commanders.
He
During
did.
their playoff push, he made some pretty clutch kicks for them against us in that Sunday
Yeah.
night football game. So he's got a little bit of a clutch gene. He's had some inaccuracy issues early on in his career. I'm not sure why the Commanders cut him. Maybe he had some accuracy issues early on, and they cut him because I'm pretty sure they extended him before the season. So I'm curious to look into that. Why? I think you feel a little bit better than Parker because he had more experience in the NFL. Parker was essentially a rookie,
Yeah.
a rookie kicker at this point in his career. So you have those high moment situations that Zane may not get as jittery as Parker would have. So an extra point that is needed to tie the game is made, right? You just never know, right? It's all about their mechanics. And Mr. Zane Gonzalez has been diagnosed with a heavy case of OCD, right? The famous video of him brushing
With
his
the hair.
before he puts on his helmet. His socks have to go a certain way. And, it's a real disorder. And he does that. So to have an OCD kicker that has to do his routine the same way, everything, it can be viewed as a good thing, right? Everybody wants to look back at his inaccuracies early on in his career. I get it. But I think we should see an improvement in the kicker situation over Parker Romo.
I hope so, man. I hope so because God damn it, man, we lost in a very disheartening fashion to the New England Patriots, who we will recap right now, man. It was the coming out party for our 15th overall pick in this past year's draft, Jalen Walker, coming back from injury. You know, he missed a couple games with that groin, but man, did he play like he had no he played like he had no lingering issues or issues whatsoever. Was a dominant force with his Falcons defensive line. You know, we talked about it earlier today. The only mishap, you know, just dropping him in coverage, right? But otherwise, man, this young man really proved to the world why he was the 15th overall pick. And you see the athleticism, the defensive traits that he possesses, man. Some people, you know, the Micah Parsons situation and whatnot. But this kid's nonstop motor was on display on Sunday. That loop around sack right there, man, that was just a thing of beauty. Executed so well. And that's another facet to this Falcons defensive line. We do a lot of tackle end. I like to see some tackle stunts, man, just to free up these edge guys coming off, you know, on a loop or whichever way Ulbrich decides to draw it up. But Jalen Walker had a fantastic game. If we would have won this game, but hands down, the MVP of that game would have been Jalen Walker. Man, he was just he was just Johnny on the spot, man. You know, he came through in a clutch third down situation where he could have intercepted the ball. He read the screen or he read something that was coming on the left side, and he was just there. Drake May just threw it right to him. But can't speak highly enough about Jalen Walker and what he did on Sunday. But your take, what do you feel? What did you like on the Jalen Walker front for the Falcons?
He just looks comfortable on the line of scrimmage, like he's fully grasping it, and he can now
Yeah.
unleash his full athleticism because he's strong like an ox. You know, he's got the leverage win over these big offensive tackles, and a lot of people were concerned. You know, oh, he's smaller, he's not gonna be able to handle an offensive tackle. I think he held up pretty good. And quite
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you know, especially when he's going forward, it's hard to stop this man. We saw a really impressive bull rush against what pick was he? The number 3, 4 pick against Will Campbell.
Will Campbell was three, I believe.
Yeah,
Or
so the number 3
yeah,
pick, right? Campbell got him because he jumped a couple reps earlier, threw him to the ground, and Jalen said, "All right, bet." So he got right in his chest and drove him into Drake May's lap, notching his second sack of the game. And you can't say enough about him in the run defense. He sets the edge, doesn't allow outside zone, but then also he can come inside and break off a tight. Like if a tight end tries to block him, like Jalen already won. Like you
yeah.
cannot use a tight end to block Jalen Walker. And then on that play that you were talking about, where he saw the swing pass, tried to break away, and then ended up tipping it. That's just his instincts and watching film and knowing what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of edge defenders, they just have their eyes set on the quarterback. They're not really looking at their surroundings. He saw that running back swing out behind the quarterback, and he's like, oh, this is a design play. Let me try and break away. If Will Campbell wasn't
Yeah,
holding our edge guy, that may
that's
have been
very
a
true,
pick.
man.
Holding all brother, you were in the stands. I was watching on
I
the
did.
TV, and
Mm-hmm.
this number 66 got 0 holding penalties, but I guarantee you every single snap he held James Pierce Jr., Leonard Floyd,
James
all
Pierce.
of them,
Mhm.
all of
All
them.
of
And
them.
I know, I get it. Offensive line, I played offensive line. You were taught to grab the chest plate, right? Here's the thing, if you're in the chest plate and you can control them like a car, okay, it's fair game. But when they're trying to break away, or your hands on the outside shoulder and it's pretty blatant that you're grabbing and you're not throwing a flag, I
Yeah,
got a
man.
problem with that, man. I
Yeah,
don't give a
yeah.
crap who it is or top 5 pick, nothing. The man is holding, pull the flag. Like there were no flags called until the Atlanta Falcons got called in the second half or whatever.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
ridiculous. Like,
It
what are
was
you
dumb.
watching, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and
It was
rant on the
frustrating.
referees, but it's
No, go.
Jalen Walker had his best game as a pro, and like
Mhm.
I don't even think he's scratching the surface on how good a player he's going to be.
I think we can get that consistently week in and week out. There was a blueprint, there was a formula, whatever it was on Sunday. That's the path you have to take with Jalen because he's a wrecking ball, man. And if you scheme him right, free like Ulbrich did on that loop, man, we can get that type of production. You know, week in and week out. We have a quick, oh man, we got 2 super chats right here, man, from our guy Brendan. Oh boy, he says, shout out, Berto. You're a real one. Next time, let me know I'm sponsoring the show. Hey, I wanted to catch you by surprise, bro. I would have made the website homepage have a Falcons shirt up. Much love to you and Bro Talk. Also, we got to talk about that. Jesse Bates INT. We certainly will, my brother. He comes back with another one, man. Thank you for being so kind with the donation. I saw at least four holes in person. Yes, man, the refs were real loosey-goosey. Well, not loosey-goosey, just they weren't throwing the flags. They were letting these guys play. But, we saw what we saw, and we saw a bunch of holding calls, and that's Will Campbell's dinosaur arms, their T-Rex arms getting to these edge defenders. Yes, we'll talk about that Jesse Bates INT, man. The defense came to play, right? 6 sacks, 1 INT by Jesse Bates, the forced fumble by Jalen Walker. Your overall impression on how this defensive line did against this Patriots team. Now, this is a Patriots offensive line that just a week ago gave up, 5 or 6 sacks to Myles Garrett. Now, they come back in a collective 6 sacks. 2 by Brandon Dorlus, who's, man, he's rounding out really well. LaCale London jumped in with 2 sacks. Jalen Walker jumped in with 2 sacks. So it was an incredible performance by this Falcons defensive line. Your take quickly on what this defense did to confuse Drake May.
Yeah, I think we're seeing them get better every single week to where Ulbrich is getting more comfortable sending only 4 more often because they're able to beat their guys in ways to where they can get quick pressure, or it's a coverage sack because the defensive backs are doing such a good job. But I want to credit them to the run defense. I think they only really gave up 1 explosive run, which is huge because they were really clogging up those holes, taking on double teams really nicely, and shedding and attacking at the point of when the running back was hitting the hole. They weren't getting driven back hardly. And we've been struggling against some gap scheme teams, right?
Yes.
Josh McDaniel runs heavy gap. They were playing it very, very well. I was very impressed with how the defensive front did that. Also impressed when number 40 was off the field and the other 2 guys were playing linebacker.
Brother, I hated him so much on Sunday.
Get that Guardian cap out of here and put the Guardian cap with dreads on the field.
Fact, bro. He was in there. The run fits that, he was filling his gaps the correct way. And it was just reading, reacting versus reading and then reacting, because that's exactly the pauses that fucking JD Bird.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought you froze. I thought you froze. I was like,
no, that was me impersonating JD, brother, because that's exactly what it was.
That was a great impersonation.
Oh man, it was horrendous. But to Coach Raheem and what he said in the press conference, Ronnie has earned more snaps. No shit, he had, and I think he earned more snaps last week. He should have been in the game more. In against the Dolphins, man. But it's a week in and week out, man, thing.
Jeff, what are we doing, brother? We know you know. And you know that we know that you know. Okay?
Oh my God.
Why was number 40 on that 3rd down? Why was he on there? Okay. Man coverage to the field side with the cloud. You had Xavier Watts capping your man coverage to the field. Why the hell are you not keying your man, number 40?
I don't know, dude. You got to know as a defensive player when a rub concept is coming, you got to fight through it. And it was like he wanted to bump into it.
But it wasn't even that. He was late.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Hunter Henry ran into the flat right away, and he was like,
right away, man.
Oh, let me get over there.
It was bad, man. It was bad, brother. And we finally saw Jesse get his first INT of the year, week 9, and he's grabbing his first INT. It's because Jesse's doing so much underneath, right? The Falcons have entrusted Xavier to be that, enforcer and on the backfield, giving him a lot of responsibility. And hey, listen, and the stats prove it. The Falcons are still one of the top, secondaries in the league. I think they still rank top 3 in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Drake May went off for 289 yards. I think that's the only 200-plus yard pass that we've allowed all year. If you can look up that stat right quick.
I'm looking at it right now. Give me a second.
Yeah. I'll go into this one right here because this one hurts. Thanks a lot, EJ. He says Berto losing worse in fantasy this weekend than the Colts in Germany. It's been a down year in fantasy, brother.
Didn't I beat you last week?
You might have. Mr. King says, what do you think improves this run defense?
Not having number 40 on the field. That's what helps.
Hello. That's it. I think that's as clear and cut. We're seeing what the play of Sam and LaCale has done for the Falcons in the run defense thus far, not getting pushed back. So I think it's a combination of things too. The edge defenders are, they're actually setting the edge a little bit better as well. That all helps in the run scheme of things. But number 40, I think, just takes the cake, man.
So I think their game plan for the Patriots worked out really well in the run because we at times had 9 in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had Jesse in there, and even like Xavier was close into the box. So the game planning, and then at times we were in a penny front, but we were in nickel, right?
Yeah, nickel.
Instead of having 2 linebackers, we were having an extra defensive lineman because we knew what was going to come. So just to add the stats, yes, Drake May had the best game against the Falcons defensive in passing. The Falcons still, after 9 weeks, we rank first in pass defense still. A whopping 11 yards less than the next one, which is the Buffalo Bills. Insane.
Buffalo?
Yes, their pass defense is good. Their run defense is bad, obviously.
Oh, very good. Obviously. I will not take that as a slight to the GOAT Deion Walker. Thank you.
Moving on. What were we talking about?
We got one right here, man. He says, do you think the season is over? London, man. Landon, thank you for joining the stream.
No, I don't think it's completely over. Now, we're on a 3-game skid right now, but if we go on, if we end up losing, 2 more and we're staring at 3-7, then I think it's safe to say that, it's an uphill battle more than we could probably overcome. But I think we have a real shot. I honestly do think we have a real shot if the same team shows up that they played against the Patriots. The Pittsburgh Steelers gave you the recipe on defense on how to slow down this Colts offense. I mean, Jonathan Taylor had his worst game of the season. Game of the season. So knowing that, Jeff Ulbrich, keep number 40 off the field.
I think he knows it. And you know what, man? Oh my God, I just hate what the snowball effect is in that regard. Keeping JD on the field, man, it gives me PTSD, man, of how Caden was, utilized last year. He goes back to all that responsibility, man. It just puts so much stress on Caden. He's not allowed to be used like we were in the beginning of the year, where he was successfully, getting sacks and putting pressure. He was allowed to be Caden Ellis, the disruptor, man. Losing Divine Diablo really is rearing its ugly head, dude.
So,
it's bad.
How many games has it been? It's been 2?
2 games.
2 since
wait. No. So yes, 2 since the Niners. This is going to be now the 3rd game.
Okay. And we're coming up. Who do we play after the Colts? We play
the Colts. We play the the Panthers, the Saints, and then the Aints, and then the Jets. Those are our next 3 games after the Colts.
If we can steal the one against the Colts.
Oh my God.
We were talking about this, right? We had to steal one of the 2, right? We were this close for the Patriots. So if we can steal this one against the Patriots, right? And we all want to say, oh, the Colts lost, they're going to come and whoop our tail. They actually didn't lose that bad. I looked at the score and I'm like, oh, this was actually closer than I thought.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's winnable. They have to prove it to themselves, right? If they win, you can carry a little bit of momentum because I think the Carolina Panthers are starting to feel themselves, right? You can go a little bit a little bit of a win streak here. You can. Okay, I'm going to go back to Berto's text if that happens, because Berto texted me after the Patriots game and said we can go 4-1 in November. If that happens, just remember Berto said it first.
Yeah, man. That's the optimism coming out of me. And Bro Talk was like, where are you getting this from?
And then Bones dropping a Nice little gem
Fact.
here.
Absolutely. Interesting fact. Raheem and Zach's last year in LA, the Rams went from 3-5 to 10-7.
Made the playoffs, and they lost a close one to Detroit in Detroit.
In Detroit. Yep. Absolutely, man. Oh, some
So,
good shit
so
already,
a
man.
lot of people that year were counting out the Rams like, oh, they can't do it. It's over. Pack it up. And look what happened, right? I'm not saying that can't happen. It's going to be hard, right? But just imagine if that happens, right? I said the realistic ending to the season was 10-7, and that's still within reach.
It is very much still within reach. Brendan with another $2 donation. Thank you so much, brother. On offense, can we talk about the 5 snaps for Warner?
So I think that was game planning for the Patriots defense.
Mm.
I think so. I think that's what ended up happening. We were trying to keep the best receivers. It seemed like this was going to be a pass-heavy game, even though we're clamoring for Bijan to get the rock, Tyler to get the rock. The Patriots just have a good defensive game plan to stop the run. We had one explosive run play, and that was it. Everything was 2-3 yards, no gain. But again, that also goes to the play caller is how the flow of the game goes and calling those run plays at the right time, keeping the defense on their heels. But I think it was just that was the game plan. I don't think Warner was in the game plan this week because of who we were playing.
Now against this Colts front, he might be a factor in this one because this Colts defensive line does get after. I think no one ranks below a 70 on that defensive line or something like that. I saw some crazy stat.
So
they all get after it.
They are a top 10 rushing defense. They are a bottom 10 pass defense.
They only give up 87 yards per game.
So we may see another game plan like we did against the Patriots. They are right there neck and neck with us when it comes to quarterback pressure as well. Our glorious king, Laiatu Latu, is on that team, and he's burst onto the scene in his second year.
Brother, man, he's balling, man. He's balling. So, and all right, let's switch dials, right? Great defensive performance by the Atlanta Falcons. Now we switch dials. We talk about the offense. And Zach did some new things. Zach called more play action. I think he called 7 to 9 play action passes, all proven to be somewhat successful. I think the best one was the Kyle Pitts grab there. But Bijan continues to be the problem in this offense, and it's weird to say that. What's the hangup? What is it that Zach cannot do to scheme Bijan the right way? Like, when you look at the Buffalo game, 19 carries, 170 yards. His last 3 games, 35 carries for 111 yards. What the hell is going on, man? Why isn't Bijan as effective as he once was?
Well, when you have a run game coordinator that pigeonholes you to an outside zone scheme, I mean, and defenses can key in on that. It's kind of hard to establish a run game and get your best player going. And an offensive play caller not calling a game that suits his players best, right? Calling a game, running a scheme based off the personnel. That's what good offensive coordinators do.
Yeah.
Right? Sean McVay said it in an interview. I think we talked about it a show or two ago. He had Todd Gurley. They were heavy outside zone because he was really good at that. Kyron Williams, a different style back. He switched to more gap scheme because Kyron is better when he keeps his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. Bijan can do both of those.
He sure can.
So why the hell are we doing that, Zach? You had a whole offseason to open up the playbook.
Yeah. Right. Quotations. Heavy quotations.
Heavy quotations because it hasn't happened. And it's frustrating because, again, who do you fear more, Daniel Jones or Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, my God, Jonathan Taylor, dude.
How many times has Jonathan Taylor been stopped this season?
Once.
Because Shane Steichen knows how to get his best player going. Shane Steichen knows how to make the game easy for his quarterback.
Very.
A quarterback that was left for dead in
Absolutely
New York.
Doing in New York. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
Viking fans wished he would have stayed based off their situation this year.
Right.
right? So it all falls on the play caller. You like, of course, teams are like, we got to stop Bijan. Okay, you want to try and stop him? You can't. But guess what? Who's stopping him right now? It's our offensive coordinator.
It's our offensive coordinator. What teams are having trouble doing is stopping Drake London, who went off on Sunday, well over 100 plus yards, 3 tutties for Drake London, man.
Fun fact:
I Go
Julio
ahead,
never had 3 tutties in a game.
Matt. What? Wait, not even that Carolina game? That 300-yard Carolina
He
game?
only had one
One?
that game.
That was that. Yeah, he did just that one. Okay, over Luke Kuechly.
I think he had multiple 2-touchdown
I
games,
yeah, I think
but
so.
he
Yeah,
never
for
had
sure.
3. Never had 3.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Fuck. Wow. Nice. Nice. But Drake London, man, went off. Everybody was pinpointing this one. Gonzo versus Drake London. The Colorado USC matchup relived and whatnot. Listen, both elite athletes at their position. But this was a good showing by Drake London, man. And I think Zach does a good job just infusing him into the offense. He doesn't move in motion nearly as much as other offensive players do, like Darnell and Kyle. But Drake London, man, just came the ball on Sunday, man. Lunch pail was brought, and he went to work on Sunday against Gonzalez, and I think Marcus Jones is the other corner. No, Carlton Davis, excuse me, for the Pats. Do you have a problem? Let me ask you this, because I've been seeing this on Twitter. Do you have a problem with the style or the way that they use him in the red zone, just throwing it up? Do you think that's a gimme all the time, or should they look other ways in that regard?
Yeah, they should definitely look other ways. You want to attack that every so often because if you put the ball in within reach, Drake's going to go get it. But you can't just rely on that because then teams will defend it even heavier,
Yeah.
right? You got to be able to find ways to get him open.
Mhm.
It's got to be creative, but that's asking a lot of our OC right now. But yes, I do have a slight problem that it's only fades, right? Goal line fades. It's a
Yeah.
lost art. Luckily for us, Drake's that damn good and he can come down with those, right?
Mhm.
And so we were able to stay in the game because of that. Because it's like if he doesn't come down with those, this is a blowout.
Unfortunately.
Think about
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Your best call is a goal line fade. Luckily, you have probably the best 50-50 ball receiver right now.
Yeah, bar none. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do have a problem to answer your question with that.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Hey, I got an interesting question here. If they finish 10-7, does Zachy stay? Oh,
No, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so either.
Here's
I don't
my
think so
prediction,
either,
right?
man.
I've told Berto this prediction
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you guys my prediction, regardless of how the season ends. Okay. Raheem is going to go up. This is my prediction, right? No inside source telling me this. Raheem's going to go up to Zach and say, Zach, look, appreciate your time here. If Oklahoma State is offering you that job, go and take it, save face, and go. Good luck with your journey. If not, I'm going to have to fire you. And then it's going to be all over the news. So I think regardless, Zach is gone, much like the Bobby Slowick situation that was going down in Houston. And I'm clamoring for 2 guys, right? We talked about Clay Kubiak last week.
Yeah.
Give me Kevin Stefanski if he gets fired from Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
That is someone I want.
Yeah, and not to go against what you're saying, Kevin Stefanski is a great name, but like I mentioned to you too, the possibility of him taking time off is a real thing. Now, just to remake himself as a coordinator, maybe just study the game, come up with better and innovative ways to trot out the next the next vision on offense. Stefanski does he hones that skill, man. I think he's a good mind in the football world. But then like you mentioned, the Clint Kubiak tree, there are some interesting names that could be had, and the most interesting one is in San Francisco. So we shall see. And if that's the case, that's a little bit of a West Coast variant that would be sorely it would be good. It would be good for this Atlanta Falcons team. I think we have the personnel to get it going, and yeah, why not, man? Bone says Bobby Peters made a great point recently. The main job of an OC in the pass game is to scheme the first read open, especially in our pure progression system. Poof. Shout out Bobby Peters, man.
Hey, he's not
He's
wrong.
he's right. He's so right. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it's not like a West Coast system where the first read is a quick pass. Like sometimes the first read is like 15 yards down the field. And right now we're about to play with a heavy backup offensive line. You can't wait for the guys to try and get open down the field.
Oh yeah, it's very true, man. This is an excellent question here. William Gaming, thank you for tuning in this evening. He says, are there any OCs that can develop Penix, man?
Absolutely. There's plenty of guys out there. It's just finding the right guy, right?
Yeah.
We talk about Penix's mechanics. I think he still needs to work on his mechanics in the offseason, his footwork, his hip detaching from his throwing motion. It'll help even more with his power, but it'll also help with his accuracy instead of him having to just straight rifle it in there. I really hope Michael reaches out to Josh Allen to see what Josh did, because remember, Josh Allen's biggest thing was he's got a strong arm, but he's inaccurate, right? And then boom, he fixed it in an offseason, and he became one of the most accurate passers in the league. Same thing with Lamar. You know, Lamar. What'd you do to improve your accuracy, right? Penix's thing is having touch and his footwork matching his throwing motion. So Bones is still clamoring for Doug Peterson. It's not a bad hire. It's not a bad hire. I don't think that's a bad hire at all. If he comes in as a veteran play caller, right, you would then have Peterson, who's got head coaching experience. You've got Ulbrich, right, who's a longtime DC who had a little bit of interim, got a taste of what it's like to be a head coach. Like, you've got guys in the building that could help Raheem, and that's what usually young, like, coordinators, you know, Raheem isn't the youngest coordinator. He's still young, right? But guys that are in his year that he can trust, where he's like, hey, man, like, I think we need to go with this. And, you know, he seems like a guy that's willing to mold himself to what's best for the team.
Very interesting. Another thing that we have to touch light on in that New England game, the third down efficiency, man, went 1 for 10 in that area, man. You know, but that's credit to the Pats defense having us in those third and long situations and whatnot, man. Just made it like real miserable. And in fact, man, in the last 3 games, the Falcons are 8 of 32 for a 25% conversion on third downs. That kills NFL offenses as a whole. It doesn't matter how high powered you are. If you live in that, man, you're not going to live to see any success whatsoever, man. But before we switch dials to the Indianapolis Colts, man, your parting take on the New England Patriots performance for the Falcons, man.
Very winnable game. Just errors in critical situations cost us the game. Talking to you, Ryan.
Oh, God. Do you talk about the Clapgate or non-issue?
There is no Clapgate. That's an excuse that he's using.
All freaking game. Chris has been touching your hip. And even when Penix is going, you still waited for the tap.
Exactly.
The worst thing you could do is snap the ball early, right? It was this close, Berto. It was this close to hitting Kyle in the motion, but it didn't. And then you saw the replay, like Penix go, like not expecting the ball. The worst thing you can do is that. So many bad things could happen, and it's exactly what it did. I don't give a damn if you got a backup right guard. His job is to tap you and let you know your quarterback is ready for the ball. If you get a delay a game, you take it. We get frustrated, but guess what? It's still second down. You only lost 5 yards.
That's it. Yep. That's something a lot of people that's something that a lot of people had, like, I hate to say fail to recognize. There's a lot of great minds out there that study the game, you know, and they see it, but you know, the inexperience that was in that drive for that crucial moment really plays a big deal in the outcome, man.
It was so crazy because we just had that big chunk play to Drake London. That's
for Drake, on the side,
right? Where Michael broke the pocket and he saw Drake, gave him a beautiful pass. And it's like, okay, driving. And then Zach calls a wimpy swing screen that the Patriots were ready for. And then that happens, and that immediately killed the drive. It was too
much, man.
You know, people are going to say, you know, we didn't lose the game because we didn't kick the extra point. Well, we sure as hell didn't tie. So what does that mean? You lost, right?
That's it.
Make the damn kick, and the game changes completely, right? You then are saying, okay, let's stop them. They're going to try and go for a field goal, but now we can get into field goal range. Like, anyways, that's it.
It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a very loaded scenario there, man.
A lot of mental errors by the players. And
Absolutely.
a lot of people go to like, oh, it's bad coaching, which yes, you can point to that to a certain extent, but you can coach up a player the best of your ability. And if the player still doesn't execute, when are you going to blame the player for not executing? It's your effing job to snap the ball when the quarterback is ready, not when you think you hear clapping.
Yeah, I think that's something that folks need to just spend a little bit more time looking in that entire sequence. And another thing, right? There was, I think, 5 seconds, 4 seconds on the play clock, and you're asking for a motion. That's where the ball could have potentially hit Kyle Pitts. That you're rushing to get that sequence to go. That's like that motion should have happened long before the snap.
Then that goes to the procedure, right? That's on Zach not getting the play in quick enough to Mike, because as soon as the play dies, the line of communication between coordinator and quarterback opens up. Okay, give him the play. Let him call it and get to the line of scrimmage. Like, quit fucking talking his ear off. Give him the play and let him get lined up.
Yeah. Do you think those are situations where he just freezes, being Zach? Does he have a JD Bertan moment where he's looking and then and reacting on the play calling? Yeah, is it one of those things?
It's like he doesn't know what he wants to call. Like, you have to be ahead. Like, okay, I'm going to call this play. It's 2nd and 10. Okay, if I get 4 yards, 5 yards, here's what I want to call. If I get a first down, okay, now I'm calling this. Like, it feels like he's not ready for the next call. Like, he doesn't know what he wants to call next. And that's bad coordinating.
And here's one right here. It says, take away JT and make Jones beat you. And I think the Falcons have a chance. Pass rush needs to step up.
That's exactly what the Steelers did. And that you saw the results.
Yep. And again, this is the Falcons defense coming off a 6-sack performance. It can happen. It can most definitely happen. Yep. So switching dials right into the Colts game. Now, this is a Colts team that I don't know if many of y'all are surprised by the record, but this Colts team is playing great. Steichen has these guys playing phenomenal offensively, one of the top teams on offense and pass and in rushing. Obviously the Falcons, they struggle against the run, but they do shine in pass defense. So it's going to be a good matchup. What can Daniel Jones do against this Falcons secondary, and what can this Falcons defensive front do to limit Jonathan Taylor in all his efforts, man? How do you see that swinging? How do you see that going, and in whose favor, man, in this game?
I mean, I think it's going to be, Shane Steichen versus Jeff Ulbricht's going to be a fun matchup. I think Jeff has done a good job understanding when to call blitzes. He's gotten better, I think, as the season's progressed. As the season progresses, to not necessarily match personnel based off the offense. Something Greg Olson has said: quit matching. If they're an 11 personnel, you don't have to go nickel. You can stay in base. You can stay in base and call a zone.
Zone, yeah.
You don't have to do that. If you want to, great, but you don't have to every single time. And if you have that tendency, well, then teams will say, okay, we're going to call 11 and we're going to have a light box and we're going to run all over you. Right? So I think Jeff has gotten better about that. It's going to be a really fun matchup. I think Jonathan Taylor will have some explosives, but I think we'll be able to limit him. It's going to be all about rallying and tackling, right? Wrap up.
Oh my God, piss poor tackling on Sunday.
Up. That's going to be key.
Fucking sucked. Yes. How do you think we slow down Tyler Warren? Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end, who's doing phenomenal, man. Almost 600 yards receiving. He's been an integral part for that Colts offense. Daniel looks for him early and often. Very much part of all the progressions. Of course, Michael Pittman on the other side. Josh Downs he's a speedster who could pose a threat for the top of the defense for the Falcons. How do we limit Tyler Warren? Who do you see stepping up in that term? Because if we have to rely on number 40 again, which we should see a reduction in snaps more to Ronnie in this game, can Ronnie, you think, step in and play that matchup like we would want our backup linebacker to play?
Yeah, so it all depends because Steichen does such a good job giving Tyler Warren a good route tree. It's a matter of how Ulbrich wants to play. Does he want to play man? Does he want to play zone? I think
hate you, Tom.
It's going to be a combination of Ronnie plus possibly Billy Bowman. He's coming back this week. Now does Billy take the starting job from D? I don't know.
That's a
I don't know. D's been playing pretty good, so that's another thing we'll have to see when Billy is active once again. So it's going to be Ronnie, man. He's got to see the field. He's got to stay in coverage. He's a former safety. He's got the speed, right? He's got the ability. I've seen him play coverage really well as a flat defender and be able to carry a tight end. We saw it in preseason. He can do those things, and Xavier Watts and Jesse Bates, capping off the defense. We can compete with these guys.
Yeah.
After seeing what the Pittsburgh Steelers did, and they are a bad this is not a steel curtain defense.
No, hell no, man.
Defense. We can compete with them.
Yep. It's awesome, man. It's awesome.
Look who's in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, of course, man. The GOAT himself.
I don't even know what he typed in. I just got a little square. What does that mean?
The salute.
You see it? I don't see it. It looks like a square to me.
Does it? No. It's a salute emoji.
Why don't I see it?
I don't know, man. Step your computer game up. I don't know.
I'm too broke, man.
Oh, stop. Shut up.
I don't have that yet. What do they say? NIL
No, I don't even have that. I needed to be funded to go to the New England game. I don't have it. I'm broke. I'm actually looking for more chats, please. That's crazy, man. Oh, man. So, yes, Colts is going to be a tough matchup. Can we squeak one out? Yeah, I think so. I think so. I spoke a lot of shit yesterday on the round table, just kind of downing the Falcons in that regard, going up against two pretty good offenses. Obviously the Colts come and pose their threat, on offense for our defense. But ultimately, I think the Falcons can keep up, man. I really do. We just need a good Zach Robinson performance. Stay out of your own way. Utilize your skill set players. This defense can be got in situations, and Zach just has to exploit that. He has to exploit it early, and then this defense that allows the defense to pin their ears back and just get after it, man. It's all about strategizing the right way, I think, man. So yeah, I think the Falcons do have a chance, man.
I tweeted out mid-game when we were down 21-7 against the Patriots. I'm like, well, that's it. Zach doesn't have it in him to come back from two scores, but luckily for him, he's got one of the best defenses in the league,
right?
And the fact that he has one of the best defenses, but I don't get it, man. You have people all throughout the league, former players, former OCs, coaches, like, what the hell is Zach doing? And it's just frustrating. But to build off of your point, I do think that we can be competitive. I think the players can overcome the shortcomings of Zach Robinson. It's just a matter of them executing and stop making mental errors on the field.
Have to, man. Have to.
I think the offensive line, what's his protection plan going to be this week? What's he going to do to mitigate the pressure that the Colts are going to be bringing with their front four, right? Kwity Paye, Laiatu Latu, DeForest Buckner. Like that's a lot. And then you have Kyle Hinton, who's going to be playing backup. We don't know. Lindstrom didn't participate, but he's day to day, so he's going to play. And then you have Elijah Wilkinson, who's struggling now. Like Ryan Nuziel has been struggling of late.
Yes. And not, Iron Man himself, he's been struggling a little bit in his pass protection sets too, but he is nursing a high ankle sprain, which is it's bad. He's still
gutting it
hurting.
out.
He sure is.
Gutting it out. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he has surgery at the end of the year the way it's going.
Yeah, right. That's too much pressure. You can't keep cortisoning that baby and expect to play on it and have the same effects. But all right, man. We're getting towards the end of the show. We got about another minute or two left, man. X factors for the game: offense, defense.
Offense.
What do you say?
Offense. I think it's gonna have to come down to. Shoot, man, it's gonna have to come down to Mike. Michael Penix Jr. calling out the protection. You know, we saw that some in New England, which was surprising. It feels like they've kind of let him take the reign on that, and making the throws, progressing, breaking the pocket what he needs to, not making stupid, intentional groundings, right? Like, be smart, protect the football, but also be aggressive, because this Colts defense can give up some passing yards. For defense, for me, it's gonna be Ronnie. It's gonna be Ronnie when he's on the field, and I think he has to be on the field the whole game. Like, JD Bertrand does not need to sniff the field unless it's special teams, and that's it. And I liked what I saw against New England. I think he's got the juice, man. He made one bad play on that touchdown. He got juked out of his shoes. So did Caden, right? It happens. Stephon Diggs is a slippery wide receiver. But I think he's the biggest X factor when he's on the field.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree on that one too, especially if his snaps, creep up like Raheem said they need to. He needs to play solid, man, because we can turn our fortunes here with a victory here. The next games are they're winnable, man. If everybody on this defense can just step up, and it's crazy to say step up. This is still one of the top 5. Is a top 5 defense in the league, and we're asking more of it now, more than ever. I'm with you on the Ronnie situation, but offensively, who are you going? What route are you going? You're thinking of going? I'm thinking of going the Bijan route. We need to see, a get right game for Bijan. This is 3 games in a row where he's been severely limited, and it's not in true Bijan fashion, man. We need a replica of that Buffalo Bills game, or that or the Vikings game. We need that sort of Bijan back, or even in the Commanders game where he did fairly well too. Can Zach scheme him right, move him around? You're going to have to show different looks utilizing Bijan. Line him up in the slot, put him in motion a little bit more. See what the defense is actually giving you. Give Penix the reins, maybe in calling some audibles or just, different play sets. I don't know. Something's got to give, man. Something's got to give. So I'm going Bijan.
Can.
Yeah, can. Yep. Go from that play, go to the next one. Yeah, absolutely, man. So Bijan would have to be my X factor, man.
It's do you know the confidence boost that will be had if we pull away a victory?
It's immensely. It's gonna fuck. Oh my god!
You have who many, including myself, consider the second best team in the league in the Colts. If you can beat them, hey man, anything's possible.
Anything is, man. It's gonna be great. It'll be great. That flight back to Atlanta. Oh shit!
What's your score prediction?
I thought it could have been a blowout, man. And that's just the emotion coming out of my ass and fucking speaking for me, man. But the more you look at it, I think this could be a close game too, man. I think this can be a New England style, game.
What you got, buddy?
Oh, man, you putting me on the spot here, man. Fuck. I want to say 30-24, man.
Who?
I got to say the Colts right now. Until the Falcons prove me otherwise, I have to go Colts in this one, man.
Okay. Well, I am going to be the ray of light.
Oh, Lord. Look at the Bruce Leroy glow.
You smell that?
No. Sounds like you're sniffing.
Smells like an upset to me. Give me the Falcons.
Give it to them, baby.
28-27.
28-27, brother. Wow. The cojones on this guy. Mr. King, look at him. 30-14. Dude, if we fucking beat the Colts 30-14, script goes in the air. Holy shit. Like, really? That would be that type of that would be like the most shocking victory I think it would be in the NFL this season. The Falcons handling the Colts in that fashion. That would be crazy.
It's going to be tough. I don't feel super confident, but I could see an upset happening. Mm-hmm. The line right now, for those of you that like to know, have the Colts as 6.5-point favorites.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Imagine if Zane kicks the game winner.
Look, see, right?
That would be crazy, man.
It would be the most Falcon thing to give fans hope.
Right, man. Right. Right. And going forward, hope is there, man. Hope would be there, brother. Mr. King says, anyways, go Bucks. We still winning the division. Oh, Lord. Love Mr. King, man. Appreciate you, Mr. King. That's all right, man. Oh, man. J Real 404, 24-21 Atlanta. That's fine. That's cool, man. Well, Brendan, we have come to that time, brother. You're yawning. It's that time, brother. It's that time. Let the folks know where they can find your excellent content, man.
Guys, still posting short form content, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you get your short form content from. All three platforms are at Dirty Birds Central, posting daily. Used to be NFL. Life's gotten busy, so I've narrowed it down to Falcons only, giving the people what they want. And for tweets, daily tweets, almost like, I don't even know how much I tweet a day, but daily tweets about the Falcons and the NFL as a whole at BK2 because
he's procrastinated all freaking year. All year.
Shut up.
Hey, I'm allowed to call you out, as you already know from past experience. You're the man, brother. You're the man. Man, of course, I'm your boy Berto, host of the 95 North Falcons talk show and your NFC South Roundtable representative every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. You can also find me on Bleacher Report, giving you post-game reactions and short-form content Monday through Thursday, man. We certainly appreciate all 280 of you guys that popped in this evening, everybody in the chat. This show wouldn't be what it is without you guys, man. So we definitely appreciate all of y'all, man. Hold on. It says Falcons have a pretty big fan base in Germany. They got to win. That's like a home game, man, for the Falcons. So hopefully that environment, that vibe is shown and brought out in Germany. For those that are flying to Germany from Atlanta, we wish you a safe trip. Enjoy the game in person there. That's a bucket list there, going to Germany to catch a game. But until then, we'll see you next Wednesday night. Might be 9 o'clock, might be 8 o'clock, but you'll know. As long as you're subscribed to at Dirty Bird Central or 95 North Falcons Talk Show, you'll know when we go live. That notification bell, make sure that it's on. But until then, we'll give you your Wednesday evening back. Enjoy the rest of the week. Enjoy the Sunday game. Remember, 9:30, early game. Peace. Rise up, everybody.